The topic of today's debate is certainly a fiery one, as both films on this agenda have to do with the devil himself. It's End of Days versus The Devil's Advocate on Movie Feuds.
And I'm here too.
Tony's here too. When Tony pitched this Movie Feuds idea to me, a couple thoughts immediately sprang to mind. One, wow, what an amazing concept for an episode that a dozen people or so will definitely latch onto. He really has his finger on the pulse of the youth of today. Just a tremendous idea that will take hours to make and have very little results. Two, even though both of these movies I think are pretty bad, End of Days is somehow far better than The Devil's Advocate.
I guess I'll start with the actual topic at hand. End of Days stars Arnold and the guy from Grumpy Old Men. They clearly wanted Al Pacino as the devil but couldn't get him, so they opted for Gabriel Byrne, aka Budget Pacino.
Yes, Dunkachino's fine, but let's not gloss over Arnie like he's some second-rate citizen. He's still a force to be reckoned with in End of Days and makes one hell of a mean protein shake. The Terminator also stretches his acting chops here, providing a bit of drama to the role.
Yeah, that crying scene was really moving stuff. Arnold should have got an Oscar for this performance. This is sarcasm, in case that's not coming across.
I believe he produced a tear, Tony. Do you have any idea how hard that must have been to conjure up? He is 100% pure man blend. The sheer will and determination it would take to muster up a salty discharge of that quantity is far more than a common mortal as yourself could possibly comprehend.
Keanu acts circles around Arnie here. The simple country lawyer moving to the big city allows him to basically play two parts, the innocent and the corrupted. Plus, we have Charlize Theron to class up the place.
There was nothing classy about her hair. That and the fact that their southern drawl comes and goes more frequently than a housekeeper at the Schwarzenegger residence. End of Days also has the Kraft star Robin Tooney, who plays the marked victim for the devil to pursue.
She cries and yells so often you'd think I was at one of my family reunions.
Jesus.
Advocate also has Jeffrey Jones as Eddie Barzoon, Wonder Woman's mother, Connie Nielsen, and Mr. Incredible himself, Craig T. Nelson.
I'm from Minnesota. We refer to him as Coach here.
Unfamiliar. Is that a movie?
Is that a movie, he asks? No. It was only a successful TV series that ran for 200 episodes over the span of 9 seasons on ABC from 1989 to 1997.
Wow. Fine. He's in my movie, was the point I was making.
It won multiple Emmys, including an outstanding lead actor for Nelson himself.
Get over it, dude. Move on.
Okay, all right. We're moving on. CCH Pounder and Kevin Pollak, as you disrespectfully pointed out earlier, are also in End of Days. Oh, also a giant freaking awesome version of Satan makes an appearance at the end. Your grand set piece was a sculpture that just so happened to have been ripped off from an artist and later settled out in court.
Your whole movie has rip-off Al Pacino.
Well, things are certainly heating up now, kids. Let's dig into the story. The Matrix, Inception, End of Days. What do these 3 films have in common? Not much outside of their deliciously intricate storylines packed to the brim with layers upon layers of mystery and intrigue.
End of Days has one of the dumbest storylines ever put on the big screen.
Oftentimes in scripture, numbers can appear backwards and upside down. So the number 666 becomes 999, as in 1999.
Even if I went along with that premise, where in the hell does the 1 come from?
Precisely. Where in the hell indeed?
That wasn't an answer.
Arnold's character, Jericho, lost his wife and kids, and along with them, his faith. He learns that in order to defeat Satan, he will need to somehow find it again, as the power of the shotgun doesn't quite compel thee, quite like good old-fashioned prayer. You see, in 1999, the devil walked among us again. He selected a body and a woman to bed who would bear the seed of a cute little devil prince. His loyal servants are everywhere, just waiting for him to give them a sign. Sometimes that comes in the form of a careless whisper, other times it's a punch through the face. He's a freak in the sheets and a demon in the streets. He can raise the dead and piss gasoline so well that even Ghost Rider would be proud.
And yet with all the tricks and abilities he has, he can't nail the one chick he selected. It makes no sense.
Listen, you have me put cold hard cash down whether it's going to be Arnold or Satan in a one-on-one fight. I go all in on Arnold every single time.
Devil's Advocate keeps things far more grounded. Kevin Lomax and his wife Mary Ann won it all. The house, the white picket fence, the money, the friends, the New York accents, everything. Kevin is a sharp, fresh-faced lawyer who's never lost a case. Power player firm owner John Milton takes notice and moves Kevin and Mary to the Big Apple. There, Kevin will learn from the pros and find that being a dirty lawyer has its rewards. That's when the deadly sins start to seep in. Lust, pride, greed. They start to change Kevin, and soon his past relationships are crashing down.
Which deadly sin is it again when you're terrible at home decor? Because that's truly the real villain of this picture. Mary Ann's awful swatch color palette choices. This movie is supposed to be sexy and steamy, but it's really just off-putting. It's like 50 Shades of Hell. End of Days is a touching ending where Jericho makes peace with his terrible life and sacrifices himself for the greater good, plunging directly into a conveniently placed sword and seeing his family one more time. Yours ends with some Groundhog's Day shit where Kevin will always get bamboozled by his father, turn out evil.
Yeah, it's a cool little mind trip ending. I find it odd that you think End of Days ends on a good note. For me, I thought it'd be better if Arnold threw Robin Tooney's character on the blade so she would stop annoying people for the rest of her life.
I should throw you into a sword.
What?
I said, let's talk production now, and I should throw you into a sword. I still have a hard time believing these movies only came out 2 years apart. 1997's Devil's Advocate looks like it was shot in the 80s. It's borderline made-for-TV level cinematography. I guess that's why the director's name is Tyler Hackford, because he's a
Hack, right.
bad director. Besides the horrific paint job by Mary Ann, there's nothing remotely frightening or appealing about the Devil's average movie.
At least it didn't rely heavily on late 90s CGI. That homeless guy shattering like a porcelain vase doesn't hold up the best. My movie relies on mostly practical effects, and there's even some cool imagery that's really disturbing. There's even a little bit of humor. Apparently, Donald Trump hangs out with the devil and pals.
Speaking of Trump, End of Days has a very tasteful mother-daughter sex scene that features some fun skin morphing.
That's true. Nothing I enjoy more than watching two women make out until their faces blend together.
Al Pacino was a great choice to play the devil, there's no question. But could he have brushed his teeth once in a while? He can be the king of darkness and still practice good hygiene. I think that bothered me more than anything else in the picture, honestly. Perhaps it was intentional. The devil's in the details, as they say.
What a long walk to such a lame joke.
End of Days also features the hit song Mad World, so there you have it. It's game over.
Remade, not the Tears for Fears edition.
The Gary Jules version is superior. There. I said it. I said what everybody else was thinking.
Advocate has the Rolling Stones song Paint It Black and a really good score by James Newton Howard. Your movie has that weird, awful chanting that shows up whenever the devil takes the scene. It's cringy, it's awful, it's End of Days.
Visually, I see no issue with Peter Hines' picture. He uses shadows really well, and the church scene at the end is still awesome. And I eat it up every time when those pews fly up and down like they're doing the wave.
I do love me a good pew wave from time to time.
Let's make like those pews now and wave goodbye. Ha 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 ha. As always, I asked my YouTube community to vote for their winner. And they didn't go easy on me this time in the polls. They gave me hell. The Devil's Advocate buried End of Days with 76% of the vote, leaving Arnie and company with a paltry 24%. Tony, I want to once again thank you for coming on my show to promote your channel. So feel free to do that now.
Thanks for having me on, Adam. If you guys want to know what I think about these movies in more detail, I'm reviewing both of them on my channel, so subscribe to Hack Movies to see that. And yeah, I hope to come back soon because I love doing movie feuds with you. That's Hack the Movies. Subscribe to Hack the Movies.
Hey, you have Hack in your name too. That's a fun coincidence and accurate. Anyway, Tony, thanks. It's always a pleasure. And if you like this video, make sure to hit that like button and the subscribe. And remember, this is more than just reviews. This is Movie Feuds. Until next time, I'll see you in hell. I didn't really have an outro. That seemed appropriate.
That's right, Adam. I will see you in hell. Because I'm actually the devil. super expensive morph effects. I'm sure Adam's gonna put a super expensive morph effect over this, and it's gonna be all CGI and maybe even fire, and then it's gonna turn into the devil. And now I'm gonna do an evil laugh. Ha 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 ha. So make sure you add that CGI morph effect, or I'm gonna look like a real idiot.